Welcome to season 2 of The Seven. I, of course, am your host, Donovan Sharpe. We were a little bit short of guests this evening. Kevin landed in Atlanta probably about an hour and a half ago. He says he's going to be a little bit late, but I doubt that he even shows up because it's been quite a long day for him. What with him flying in today, Solo should be in here shortly, and then of course Jap had something else to attend to tonight. So it's going to be us four that starts this bad boy off tonight. We will get to Jason Bravo's super chat here shortly, but before we do that, let us introduce tonight's esteemed panel. First up, of course, is the man in Texas, Steve the Dean Williams. How you doing, Steve?
Living in your world. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. Next up is the man of New York City, Mr. Locario.
What's popping? What's popping? What's going on, people? How's everybody doing?
We're doing just fine here. Next, the man in Miami, Myron, 5% body fat.
Thanks for having me.
Some people. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Listen, thank you guys all for being here. I know that we haven't had a show the last couple weeks because we've all been busy doing projects. I just got done filming Womanies Volume 2. I'm actually going to be flying to Detroit to finish that filming as well. So we're still in the final stages of that. That's going to be going into production here shortly. But as the weeks go on, this, of course, is season 2, episode 1 of The Seven. When people's schedules start to sort of settle down a little bit, we will settle into a routine. Let's go to Jason Bravo. Already a $5 super chat. Appreciate that. He says, typical of a feminist to use the same name as a male horse. There's nothing stallion about dear old Meg. Hashtag WAP will soon be da dap. I don't dry. Wow. Well, that was clever. That was very
right. Donovan, are we keeping this one cleaner?
No. We're going to try to keep this one as clean as possible.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, there's Solo. I added him to the screen. I don't know why this 5% relay isn't working. This is kind of weird. All right, well, let's just switch to this one. There we go. That's weird. We're all so much smaller than we should be, which is kind of weird. All right, we'll just stick with this one. This one should work for now. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and introduce. Looks like you're at the Playboy Mansion. Solo TV 84 is joining us. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Solo TV 84 in the building. Just chilling at the lounge. Follow me on Solo TV 84. Let's get it cracking.
Yo, it looks like you're at a strip club lounge. Like, real talk, bro.
No, we having an after party here, D. You should be here, bro. It's gonna be cracking tonight. So
hey, man,
got a couple ladies coming through tonight. You know what I mean? Locario, I'll send you the receipts as always.
Got a couple ladies coming through to get ran through. That is how we do here on The Seven. So we actually have a couple of topics that we're going to go over tonight. The first topic, of course, is going to be about Meg the Stallion. Now, Meg the Stallion, I don't know why she goes by Meg the Stallion. I have no idea why. There we go. Now we're good. I don't know why she goes by Meg the Stallion, but whatever. It doesn't matter. So she put out a video entitled Why I Speak Up for Black Women. And to say this is riddled with all sorts of fallacies and just typical rhetoric nonsense is an understatement. So I'm going to play the video. I'm going to play it all the way through because if we were to stop and break down everything that we find as a talking point, we're going to be here till 2:00 in the morning. So because nobody wants to be here until 2:00 in the morning, I'm going to let the video play all the way through. And at the end, we are all going to sort of speak our piece. And then Steve actually sent me a video that was absolutely freaking hilarious. It's a dude and his wife talking about why the wife doesn't want to give up the you-know-what after marriage. It is just, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It's cringeworthy yet pathetic all at the same time, all the time. So without further ado, let us go to the Meg the Stallion video, Why I Speak Up for Black Women. And guys, take mental notes because this is it's a minute and a half video, but I want to make sure everybody gets their thoughts in. Here we go.
What does it mean to be a woman of color?
Okay, I got to stop it right there. I know I said I was going to let the video play all the way through, but already she has hit us with a fallacy. A woman of color. Now, see, here's the thing. There are women of color that aren't black around the world. Meg the Stallion would have us believe that she is talking specifically about black women. But when she says women of color, she could be talking about Indian women. She could be talking about Hispanic women. She can be talking about all kinds of women. But by using this sort of, and stay with me here, this is an apex, this is sort of an inverse apex fallacy, sort of wrapped in a reverse juxtaposition, right? And I know that's a mouthful, but let me explain. What she is going to do is she is going to use the word, the phrase women of color, but then all of the issues that she is going to point out are issues that have to do with black women, but she doesn't use all black women in this video. So that right there, by involving other races of women, it's almost like she's trying to make the plight of the black woman the plight of every, quote, woman of color, while also trying to make it just a black thing. It's almost like they're trying to sort of cross-pollinate. This is a black woman's problem, but Asian women, this is your problem too. And Indian women, this is your problem too. But if they have the guts or the balls to speak up about it, bitch, shut up. This is just about black women. That's exactly what this is. I've seen this done many times before. I'm going to play it through this time for real.
Every black woman angry about something. She's got to be strong because that's just the expectation. Loving herself, but not too much because then she's conceited. Being his lady in the streets, but his freak in the sheets. Inheriting her grandma's love, but always loving the wrong one. Twerking for her man, but not with her friends. Bitch. Being constantly told she's too much or not enough.
The most disrespected person is the black woman.
Constantly having to prove she's a victim because society sides with a man.
Oh, no, this bitch did not.
Not being able to express her traumas.
Did this bitch just say society sides with the man? Like, did she really just say that?
Just goes to show how low IQ she really is. She's not living in this world.
Okay, listen, we got to get through this because we're going to be here forever. All right,
because she can't her weakness. Is constantly told that she's too dark, too thin, too thick, too much of a bitch. Being murdered, beaten, abused, then questioned if she evoked all of it. Is left out on the street, but becomes the flower that grows from the concrete.
Who doesn't hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
What the fuck is that? What the fuck does this have to do with anything? Right? Like this, like guys, this is what is this? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
She marches for everyone else, riots for everyone else, dies for everyone else.
Oh.
She loves everyone else, lives for everyone else. But when it comes down to her, it ain't a mother in sight.
The system as a whole has failed her.
You've never been shot. You don't know her pain.
Say her name.
18 women of color. Murder.
All right. Oh boy, a lot to unpack there. Lucario, I'm gonna come to you first. What are your initial thoughts on this? What did you see? What did you hear that grabbed your attention?
Oh man. Well, this is the thing. What it is it's something that's put out to only show a portion of what's actually going on and making that portion seem like it's the whole thing. And this happens in a lot of different ways with marketing and, you know, promotion of trying to push a certain narrative. So they'll say, they'll say, she was like, oh, well, women are the most disrespected. Or black women are most disrespected. Now, are black women disrespected? Yes. Are they the most disrespected? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it also, they'll and this is the slick thing they did. And this is another marketing tactic people do. Subliminal messages. Notice when you pause and you said, what the fuck is that? That was an actual dude dressed as a woman, right? But
right.
It's supposed to be about black women. So basically what they're saying in this little like slick way is, hey, black women, we're putting this together to big you up and to promote you and to put you out there in support of the struggles black women have to go through. But wait a second, this man is here representing you, or this, cross-dresser or transvestite. I don't know what exactly they say. I don't want to be too, I wanna, you know how it goes on YouTube. I don't want to go crazy. But what I'm saying is that they're making that person represent the black woman. So that's actually a diss to black women that they even put that in there, because basically what they're saying is that you black women, you guys are masculine. You see what I'm saying? Yes. So that right there, I was like, I'm not really feeling that. You feel what I mean? But yeah, but overall, it's one of those things where it's promoted as it's a lot of like half and 1/3 and 1/4 truths in there. You feel what I'm saying? But that's what I caught when I first saw it.
Steve, what are your initial thoughts on this particular video, and what in particular stood out to you?
Well, she's not a representation of black women. She's what I call low-hanging fruit, bottom of the barrel. She is something that that really does. She can't even cut my grass. You know what I mean? It's just nothing special about her. But the problem is, a lot of people look up to her and think that what she's saying is truth, and it's not. Now there are black women, and I always say this to everybody excuse my language, everyone that says things about other women. They're good women in every race. They're good, quiet women who are at home. Black women don't. Not all black women are not representative of this, but again, marketing and media, they want to shine. Sometimes they want to shine black people as a whole in a bad light.
Right.
When giving these kind of women the kind of shine and giving them the light to make it look like, we all. I mean, that to me is not only a bad look to black women, but it's a bad look to us, because it's saying like we can't even control our women, especially this one. So I just shake my head. I just feel like we went back 200 years on that stupid stuff. Man.
Wow, that's a good one. You know what? I never thought of it that way, but I think you're right. Myron, what are your initial thoughts about the video, and what stood out to you?
Once again, it's typical, leftist propaganda. Look at me, feel sorry for me because I'm a minority, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, the thing is, man, is that people got to stop attaching themselves to a race and start like going off of their name and who they are. Not, oh, I'm black, so you should like give me some preferential treatment, or I'm so oppressed, or whatever it may be. It's like, come on, man. It's like, stop playing the victim mindset, man. Like, you become you know what I mean? Instead of like trying to like, say, oh, I'm a victim. I deal with this, I deal with that, whatever it may be. Man, bro, there is no better time to be a woman than in 2020. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you guys want to sit here and be like, oh, well, the patriarchy, all this other stuff. But here's the thing. Their ability to argue and complain hinges upon them taking the victim mindset. So they need to continue to perpetuate that, like, that lie that, oh, I'm a victim, the patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. When it's like, nah, bro, like, stop aligning yourself with some kind of like group, ethnic group, or whatever it may be, to take a victim mindset. Like, worry about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, enough people don't worry about themselves. They want to always like latch on to something and cry. Like, no, man, like, you make your own future. You're not where you want to be right now, not because you're black or Trump's in office or any of that. You're not where you want to be because you are a lazy sack of crap. That's the reality. No one wants to ever look at themselves and say, oh, I'm the reason for my mess ups. No, they want to blame it on systematic racism, all this other BS. Like, nah, bro. Like, I understand like that stuff existed before, but it's like, come on, man. It's 2020. If you're a failure at this point, 99% chance it's your problem, not your racist problem. It's not whoever's in office. Like, nah, bro, it's you. Take some accountability.
Myron with the
I
heat.
could not agree more. Yeah, he came with the thunder that time. What are your initial thoughts?
Donovan, I would like, if you don't mind, me reading some of the lyrics of Megan Thee Stallion's called Hot Girl Summer.
Do it.
Verse 2. Okay, this is for the streets.
Okay.
Lil Thundercat, throwback. He can't handle that. I don't want to talk unless a nigga finna throw a stack. Bad attitude, but I'm cute, so he call me bae. I'ma need that head, give me neck like a vertebrae. Check my body, Hoochie Wally. Where your wallet? I'll take your nigga. It's nothing you can do about it. I'm the fucking hottie. I'm not your mama or your partner, so don't play with me, bitch. I'm from Texas. We get rowdy. Shout out to Steve. I got my hands up on my knees. I'm about to work him out his jeans. He gets behind me. I'm a QB, throw it back, and wide receive. No.
Bars.
Wow, bars. So that was Megan chapter 3, verses 16 through 18 there, as recited there by the one and only Solo TV 84. Yeah, listen, man, I think it's plainly obvious. I think you all hit it on the head. What stood out to me the most was exactly what Myron said. There has never been a greater time for women to be alive than in 2020. They get all of the breaks all the time. They are never, ever, ever the victim, but they get all. And Rollo Tomasi talks about this all the time. And I sort of married that, what he said, with what I'm about to say. One of the 3 pillars of feminism, I'm not going to go through all of them, but the 3 pillars of feminism, one of the 3 pillars is to remove all responsibility from women while placing it on men, while simultaneously removing all authority from men and giving it to women. What this creates is sort of a power vacuum. Women have all of the power, but none of the responsibility. And when shit doesn't go their way, they come out with videos like this. Yeah, Solo, what you got, man?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Donovan. I was actually going to say some more, but I'm glad you cut me off because, you know. But Donovan, let me ask you a question. If you hear lyrics like that, because, you know, I'm a creative as well. I'm not a rapper. But if a woman were to send you something like, oh, I write poetry, Donovan, because I'm pretty sure you've heard that bullshit before. Girl talking about she writes poetry. Oh, dude, and then she sends you a poem about this. Would you take her serious?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Okay, I rest my case.
Okay, right. You know, it's funny. But by the way, one of the many slut tells there are out there is that she involves herself in an art, but she's bad at it, right? I have never, listen, man, I've banged so many sluts. They're painters, they're writers, they're dancers, they write poetry, they're pottery, and they're fucking terrible. Like, they gave it up on the first date, but they're just fucking terrible. Listen, I don't know if there's a scientific explanation. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's something that they all have in common. Byron, you said you had something to add.
Yeah, man. So shout out to my boy King Riches, man. I'm wearing one of his shirts right now. He's a good dude. And me and him talked about this a couple weeks ago, how going back to what you were saying, Donovan, with and shout out to Rollo Tomasi as well. The reality is this, right? So male roles are static. Women's roles are negotiable in 2020, quite frankly. You know what I mean? Like, I always use the example, if a dude breaks into your house, you're supposed to put your life on the line and protect your woman. But if you turn around and tell her, hey, make me a sandwich, she could look at you and say, do it yourself. I'm not your slave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And the thing is that my thing is this. Listen, you want to have negotiable, gender roles, whatever it may be. That's cool. But I'm not the guy for that, because if I'm going to put my life on the line and protect you, right? If someone breaks in here, you better make me a sandwich when I ask for one, or make me a coffee. And to me, I look at it like it's crazy that you're willing to protect this woman, but she can't even.
Don DeMarco that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Don DeMarco. Like, bro, it's BS, because it's like they can basically, it's negotiable. They can absolve themselves of feminine responsibilities, right? But you still have to stick to your masculine responsibilities. So my thing is this: chicks that want to be a progressive, oh, I'm a feminist, blah blah blah. Cool. I ain't dealing with you, because if I'm expected to protect you, then I need to know that you can do things for me as well. And you need to be able to serve a guy. This is why I always say, if a girl won't cook or clean for you, it's way deeper than that. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't deal with her at all, because it's way deeper than her not wanting to cook or clean for you. It's basically her telling you straight to your face, I expect you to still earn more money than me, to be higher value than me, to protect me, provision for me, etc. But I'm not going to hold up my end of the bargain. Nah, fuck out of here. It doesn't work that way. Nope. And a lot of guys got to start grabbing their nutsack and telling women, yo, if you don't do this, then I'm not dealing with you. You want to you want to take these like super progressive, things? Cool. Be progressive by yourself over there, because I'm not dealing with you. So guys have a pair of nuts and understand that you're the leader. And if your woman doesn't want to serve you, cool. She no longer gets the masculine burden of performance that you have, that you bring to the table.
Okay, Steve, what you got?
I'm going on the other side of the street, man. This is why a lot of men are having problems, because they listen to people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. The game ain't about women. I don't care what she thinks. I don't care how masculine she feels or anything. The problem is a lot of men don't know what they want from women. or they want from themselves. So what they want to do is they want to push it on women. This is not about women. This is the fact that a lot of men are soft. They have no spine and no balls, and they can't stand on things. But they want to use excuses like, oh, well, like, okay, I see what Myron's saying about the sandwich, but here's the thing is, why can't that be established before she even moves in your house that I demand you to make a sandwich for me? This is where we have problems at. We got to stop listening to people that don't know what they're talking about in this game. The game is not about women. It will never, ever be about women. If you cannot manage your woman, it's not her fault. It's yours.
No, I agree. This is exactly what Myron said at the beginning. He says, listen, if you don't cook or clean, then I'm not going to deal with you, right? But what a lot of guys are doing, and you guys are both right about this, is that a lot of men, all they require, women have a laundry list of requirements for their men. Most men have just one. Just let me fuck you. That's it.
Correct.
She can be a little bit overweight. She didn't have to give me no head. Listen, and it's funny. They don't even do this consciously. They do this subconsciously. A half-decent looking woman is letting me stick my penis in her unimpeded on a regular basis. I want to put a ring on it. And then they start tripping when she gets to 240 pounds 2 years later. Now, fam, just like Steve said, that's your fault. But on the other side of the coin, in the beginning, you got to nip that in the bud. Do not commit to women who are overweight. Do not commit to women who don't cook or clean. Do not commit to women who are not going to follow your lead. That's just what this comes down to.
Wait, can I say something? And Steve, this is going back to a debate you and I had a few months ago that was classic with the egg debate.
Oh, that's about that.
And I got to be respectful, Steve, but Myron, you know, when you say he doesn't know what he's talking about, Myron is still in the field, as am I. So respectfully, Steve, when we young guns telling you what we're experiencing, don't be dismissive because we actually out there still. Facts.
Okay, but you don't know if I'm out there though. So you don't know. You don't know. But let me keep it all the way real. Y'all new to the game. Y'all young. I keep telling y'all at your age, y'all haven't been where we have been. You've only gone to your age limit. So you can say with all respect, y'all can say what you want to say. But as a man that's still in the game, because I don't say what my boy Lucario saying, you don't know what I'm doing. You have no idea what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is,
Steve, I'm not saying you're not doing anything, but I'm just saying, like, when I say young guns in the field, I'm talking about me and Myron. We in the lounges, we in the clubs.
Yeah, man.
I don't need to be. But I don't need to be. Right, but I don't need to be in a lounge or club to talk to a woman because I can get a woman anywhere. I don't need to be in a lounge or a club because my game is so airtight. Nobody can touch me.
I just got a quick point. I
see what you're saying, but you got to get to the old heads. It's our job to correct you, young men.
Listen, we're saying the same thing
about sometimes.
Guys, I just got to say this real fast.
Hold on, we're saying the same things. We're arguing the same point, right? But what Steve is talking about is exactly what Myron is talking about. Steve said that, you know what? Too many guys are not requiring enough of their women. If your woman gets out of pocket on your watch, that's your fault. Myron took care of it on the front end that said, hey, if you don't cook or clean, if you don't stay in pocket, then I'm not going to deal with you. We are literally saying the same thing in two very different ways. Myron, go ahead.
No, all I was going to say was, like, just to say, to take Steve's point is that the reality is this, man, Steve. What I'm trying to say is, you're saying, oh, well, you guys are young guys, whatever. What I'm saying is that younger women, that's the mentality they subscribe to. They want you to hold your masculine end of the bargain, but they don't have to hold on to their feminine rules. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of girls nowadays, this is why I tell guys, you got to get out there and date a lot of chicks because a lot of girls have bad habits and bad methodologies of thinking of what it takes to have a successful relationship. A lot of chicks will sit there and tell you, oh, it's a 50-50 partnership. Like, I can lead and you can follow me. Like, a lot of women subscribe to that. You know what I'm saying? Especially in 2020, this progressive type ideology of how to run relationships. And what I'm saying is that it doesn't work that way. And a lot of the time you're going to have to correct your girl or younger women, especially because they have this methodology of thinking, this flawed concept of what it takes to have a real relationship. And we all know that if the man isn't in the leadership role, it's an L every single time.
Yeah, you have to correct. Just real quick, you got to correct women. Period. It's not young or old. You got to correct women. Period. But a lot of people don't understand. This is why the young college girls mess with the older dudes because of what we know and how they get in line with the older dudes. We don't have those problems. We don't have women getting out of pocket because they know they have no value with us. Like y'all talking. I mean, yeah, you got to train them. Every woman needs to be trained. I agree with you, Myron. But I don't care enough about a woman to have to train her. Either she's gonna ride with me, or I'm dumping her back in the trash can and waiting for the next one.
We got to stop the presses here because I'm almost positive we have an imposter. There is a man who looks just like Kevin Samuels wearing a suit. So,
what's going on, man?
Sir,
Don DeMarco.
Sir, I don't know who you are, but listen, if I don't see Kevin soon, I'm going to be forced to call the authorities and have you removed from the premises.
Right. No, man, you know, I just got back in from Manhattan and been gone since when did I come up there?
Bro, man, it's been a minute.
Yeah. And I'm headed out to LA in a minute. So
like
man.
Weeks, man.
Field work is real work, baby.
That's right. That's what's up. Steve, is that a new iPad that I see there?
New laptop.
Oh, new laptop. Oh
yeah,
shit.
The
Okay.
iPad worked, man, but I needed when I had to do the show on the road.
Yeah, man. iPad. Or I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to figure out what's the best setup. So I would jump in. I thought about throwing the suit on, man. I was like, man, fuck all that. I'm tired. Yeah. I can get one in.
All good. All right, let me read these super chats and then we'll get to the next topic because this next topic.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, gentlemen, Kevin. Freelance Ronan, $5 says she is trying to use the Rainbow Mafia strategy. A lot of girls do that. There was a $20 super chat by the Marfuki man. For whatever reason, it's cycling through. I'm gonna have to go to the other side and grab that. Red Pill Mike with the big $50 super chat says every woman that takes the time to speak up for all women or all of an ethnic group of women just proceeds to further bury that group with her own fallacies and ignorant emotional presence. Women who want to self-improve should steer clear. This is exactly what Steve said. Do not listen to these women. They will lead you astray. The Modern World with the $2 Canadian says typical Democrat like responsibility-free campaign. Exactly. There are so many freaking fallacies. James Young, $20. Says Myron pointed out the mentality of low-class people. They choose to blame the system instead of themselves. Worse, they rather complain or pray instead of doing something about it. Yeah, absolutely. They rely on things like prayer and, the universe will provide opportunities for me. No, you will do that for yourself. The Marfuki man. I actually do have the Marfuki man. The $20 super chat. No. I'm going to go back and get that a little bit later on. $10 super chat says, y'all need some Gorilla Mind Rush to recover brain cells from having to listen to Queen Ratchet's lyrics read aloud. Yeah. I think Solo TV 84, you listen, you are responsible for having made us all just a little bit dumber reading those lyrics on the air, but we ain't mad at you. You're part of the 7. You're part of the family. We don't judge. We're not gonna
I had to let you know that she was contradicting herself. That's
totally.
You know what I mean?
Listen, dude, I can't even. Honestly, you're a very articulate individual, but for whatever reason, like you sounded like a hood nigga reading the lyrics, even though you're well spoken. Like it's just amazing how her lyrics just makes intelligent people just sound dumb just by reading it. It's incredible. C. McNamara, $5 says, where can I submit my application for Kevin's next ex-wife? I guess that's sort of an insight. I think C.
Yeah, man, I got a whole thing going on. Looking for my next ex-wife.
Real talk.
Yeah, you know.
Sam,
we got a short-term contract. We'll see how she can work up. If I give me one of them Lucario and Steve deals, I may actually put her ass onto a franchise status.
Hey, listen, real talk. Just make sure she signs that contract, right?
Goddamn right, man. I'm not.
Yo, Kevin, what happened in Manhattan? We got to hear this.
Yeah, tell us what happened, brother. What happened out there, man? You're out for 2 weeks, man. Give us a rundown.
Oh man, it is wild, man. I am Lucario. Fam,
what's popping?
I'm 85% sure you have to have me as a neighbor.
Right.
Donovan, I told you. Donovan, I've been talking to you the entire time. I said I'm moving back to New York City.
You should.
The real estate is ridiculous. Yeah. And I felt so much at home, man. And yeah, man. And the women and the bitches. Oh, the bitches. Oh my God. It is a oasis in New York City.
This nigga said,
it's a veritable oasis.
Kev, before you pull the trigger on New York City, you need to come down to Miami first, bro.
I'm going to LA. I'm be out in Beverly Hills, swing by Malibu, and I actually do need to slide into Miami. But I am a New York dude, man. But
the
way airlines are now, man, this ain't nothing but a quick $200-$300 flight.
Right. Real talk. First class. Like
You'll change your mind, bro, when you deal with these Colombians and Cubans down here, bro.
I know, man. You know,
you change your mind.
They got something for your ass down there. So I'm open, baby.
Listen, they got that addictive wop. That's what that is.
Boy.
Bitches will have you, bitches will have you sprung like a motherfucker. Okay, let us move to the next topic. This is actually a topic that Steve sent to me. He actually sent this to me last night, man. And I looked at this, like, as I was watching this, I just sat there and I shook my head. I was like, dude, you've got
this shit.
Yo, this is just this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. So what this is, and I guess because they both have on headphones and a microphone, I guess this is a podcast. So this dude is on a podcast with, I guess, a woman.
It's called the Dead Ass Podcast. He's a former NFL player.
This guy's a former NFL player.
Yep.
What's his name?
What's his name? Deval Ellis or something like that.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll have to do some, because I recognize faces immediately. I don't really recognize, man. I don't know. Maybe he was a backup wedge buster on special teams or something. But listen, he played in the NFL. I didn't, so I'll give him credit for that. Be that as it may, his bitch is out of pocket, and you're about to find out why right now.
The contract we signed with each other,
right,
to have sex with anybody else,
right.
Okay. See, there we are, right there. The contract we signed with each other to not have sex with other people. This is what a lot of bottom dwellers think that the world should be. Forced monogamy. If we were to snap our fingers right now and put every woman in jail who cheats on her husband, boyfriend, whatever, infidelity, guess what? The cheating would be just as rampant. The only difference is they would find another way to do it. You cannot legislate monogamy, no matter how much you want to. You can put laws in places. We can bring back dowries. It doesn't matter. Ho's gonna hoe. Does anybody have anything on that before we move along?
No, that's one of the most liberating things I learned as I got into this game. Everybody gonna do what they're gonna do, and coming from the Bible Belt, Oklahoma, we try to legislate morality. Tattooing just became legal in the late 90s.
Damn, are you serious?
Yeah, Oklahoma up until roughly 5 or 10 years ago had 3.2 alcohol beer. To get real beer, you used to have to drive to Texas across the border to get adult entertainment porn over there. Oklahoma, and the thing is, what did it get us? It got us meth and rampant teen pregnancy, because it drives everything underground when you try to legislate morality.
There you go. It's just like I don't know what the fuck's going on with this right here. Give me a second. Hold on. It's just like prohibition, right? When prohibition happened, people were still getting drunk. They just found other ways to do it. That's why there were bootleggers, rum runners, and moonshiners. People are gonna do whatever the hell they want to do. You can try to legislate whatever you want out of it. People are going to do what they want to do. And trying to legislate monogamy, that will have disastrous consequences. By the way, Devin just sent this to me. So the guy on your screen is DeVale Ellis. He's from Brooklyn. He's an American actor and former American football wide receiver. He was signed by the Detroit Lions as an undrafted free agent in 2006. He played college football at Hofstra. So that's what that's who this guy is on the screen. Rob Black, $15, says most of these women have or will hit the wall with bricks, debris, and dust left behind them. No need to worry about their concerns or whims. They have no clue as to what they really want out of life. Women never know women don't know what they want or need. That's why that's why they need a man to tell them what they need. Okay, let's continue.
So the urges that come, I have to share them with the one person I decide to spend the rest of my life with.
This is actually some very good points he's making, by the way.
Right.
So that brings me back to my soundbite.
Okay.
Right. I don't understand, and this is what we can discuss as a woman, because I don't want to say it's a man versus woman thing, but a lot of women do complain, oh, my husband's always on me. Why is he always on me? If sex is going to be a chore for you that you don't really want to do, why do women constantly push monogamy on men?
See, what he is asking, and this is a very, very good question. If women are always, and these are wives, right? We got wives. I always say this, girlfriends are better than wives. Wives the world over, at least the Western world over, want to act like sex is the chore. There are many, many reasons for this, right? That's not what this show is about. We could talk about that. But women act like sex is a chore, but then they want to get all bent out of shape. Well, my man cheated on me. Niggas ain't shit. My man cheated on me, blah, 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 blah. But what they don't tell you on the front end is that the reason he cheated is because he hasn't fucked you in 6 months, because you act like sex is a chore. He wants to have sex with someone who will fuck him back. Lucario, you are in a non-monogamous relationship where I imagine that it's very like the sex is motivational. What is your thought on women who bitch and moan about monogamy, but then they want to close their legs and act like sex is a chore? You can't have it both ways, can you?
Well, this is the thing, because I actually did a response video to this actual video on my channel because I thought it was hilarious.
Okay, all right.
But see, the problem is this, where he doesn't realize, and the reason why women will push monogamy and then not want to have sex with the guys is because women don't want to have sex with guys they marry. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Most of the time. Right. Most of the time. So what happens is most of the time, it's a beta male who's getting married to these women. So what happens is that women usually don't get the guy who they're sexually attracted to be their husband. Yes. So they get the guy that can provide and protect. So what happens is they're like, okay, I'm going to be with you because you provide and protect, but I'm not that sexually attracted to you. This is why you always hear married men talking about, I haven't had sex with my wife since last month. And that's why she's attracted to him. You see what I'm saying? And so, but they push monogamy because they know that a beta male is the only type of guy who is going, the types of guys who are going to be really cool with just having sex with one woman for the rest of their life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alpha male is not going to do that, but it's hard for her to lock down the alpha male, which is why they get the beta males, but they don't want to have sex with the beta males, which is why those guys aren't having sex as much. You see what I'm saying?
Very good. Man. So Steve, what are your thoughts on this? Because you're married, and my guess is that you probably don't have any trouble getting sex out of your wife.
Right. Well, here's the thing about this whole thing that a lot of guys they're not even looking at. And a lot of guys don't realize, but they're going to fall right where that guy is. A lot of guys are going to be that guy. Because we start to listen to that guy, he's making it all about sex, number one. And number two is he is fulfilling her wants. See, right. It doesn't matter what she can want monogamy. She can want me to take my shirt off and put it over a puddle. She can want me to give her flowers every day. This effort thought, I'm not going to cuss because we do effort thought. Effort thoughts, because I'm not here to give a woman what she wants. I'm here to give her what she needs. But see, as you listen to him, you can see there's a lot of feminine energy in this guy because he's doing all the complaining where she seems like she's more of the alpha in the relationship. And I bet you she's smashing one of these guys on the panel because you can tell how she's looking at him. She does not respect him because, like Lucario said, women are always going to want the guy that doesn't have anything because he's going to provide security. He's going to provide the wedding. He's going to provide the baby. But when it comes to putting her knees to her shoulders, she's going to come to us because she knows she can't have us, but she'll have a piece of us, which is the sexual part. But she doesn't want to sleep with a bum or a beta. She'll have a baby by him, but she doesn't really want him, man.
Kevin, what are your thoughts? That's a very good point, actually, by Steve.
So I'm gonna chime in on something that Steve said. I watched this, and she is definitely the alpha. She was, if you watch just how she handled him, her man. It was sad to look at because he was being so thoroughly handled. He had to go passive aggressive humor. And what I saw a young me when I was the beta male bitch boy, and I had to negotiate for pussy, and I had to do all the fuck shit, and I got starfish sex until I finally got some self-esteem and walked away from the bitch that was doing this to me, start fucking her friends, and all of a sudden she wants to start sucking dick in the bathroom. And I'm like, so you mean I could have had you sucking dick in your mama's bathroom when they went to sleep after the Cosby Show if I'd have just been an asshole up front? Oh no, I fucked your friend. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We got words. I'm sorry. But the point is, I feel sorry for the dude because he married her and she knows she has him.
Yes.
Yes.
And Macario said it. She married a beta male provider, and dude, it's a horrible position to be in. Guys, don't do this to yourself. You die 1,000 deaths. And I just watched a little bit of his essence go I was like, gosh, damn, this dude is just dying in front of me.
It was hard to watch. Lucario, Jesus Christ. Solo, what are your thoughts on this?
That's my brother.
Well, people have said that me and Lucario, I look like the huskier version of him. So,
there you go. The rich man's version, right? Right.
I will say this. You know what it's about, Donovan. It's alpha fucks, beta bucks.
There it is.
Right?
Yep.
She looks at that the guy who is marrying her and doing all that extra shit. He is for the provision. He's for the security. Donovan, you and I know as well as I do, right? There's no epic experience when in terms of getting pussy when you get new pussy. It's like you remember the beginning of a movie, like Marvel Endgame or something like that. When you hear the beginning credits, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, man.
That's what it's like when you get new pussy. It's paramount, right? Now, guess what? For a woman like this, she secured the bag or the dude, and that's why she's treating him like this. The alpha fucks, beta bucks is so true. And Donovan, I just released a video today. You probably heard about it, about this female pastor who was about Jesus, and then all of a sudden she went to some LBGTQ WFM #squared party, and then she turned into a freaking OnlyFans thought. Guess what? Women compartmentalize men. Okay. Yep. Just like we do compartmentalize women, okay? And if you're in the beta buck situation, then you're gonna be one of those dudes that you're waiting for your wife to go to sleep so you can turn on the Spice Channel. Remember that, Donovan? Spice Channel?
Oh yeah, yes. Skinemax After Dark. Before I go to Myron, what Solo just said is 100% true. We as men, we compartmentalize women and sex, okay? Women and sex are mutually exclusive, okay? We don't, like a man my age, I don't get into relationships. I'm not in my relationship because I want to have sex. I can have sex anytime I want. No, what I need is someone who can help me outside of the bedroom, right? Women compartmentalize men and provisioning. You understand what I mean? That's exactly what Solo was talking about. And so when we can compartmentalize women and sex and keep that from love, we can slay bitches and not feel 1 ounce of guilt. Well, when women get to a point where they can compartmentalize men from resources, you get this dude on the screen. Why won't you have sex with me? And she deflected all of his questions because he's nailing her to the wall every time. But because there are no consequences for her actions, she can deflect and not worry and not have anything to worry about. That's what this comes down to. Myron, what are your thoughts on this?
So my thing is this, man, and I did a show on this, like a couple of things that if a girl does it to you, you immediately break up with her. And this is 100% like one of them. Like if a girl denies you sex, she's fucking done. Like what guys got to understand is that you absolutely never let a woman leverage sex against you for some kind of compliance. Never. Because as soon as you do that, she's gonna realize, oh, if I just withhold pussy from this guy, he's gonna act the way I want. And guess what happens when you do that? You lose your leadership, you lose your authority, etc. And she's gonna start to use her vagina to try to bargain with you. Last I checked, I don't fucking negotiate with terrorists. If you want to hold your fucking vagina against me, cool. You're getting out the door. I can't tell you guys. To me, if a girl because here's the thing, let's keep it 1,000. Men want a million things in a man. Is he tall? Is he good looking? Does he make money? Is he confident? Blah, blah, fucking blah. Every girl has her laundry list of things that she wants from a man, right?
Right. Facts. Women.
Yeah,
yes.
women. Sorry. Women want all these things. Men haven't changed much over the centuries. Like, are you attractive? And will you give me sex? Maybe some food, cleaning, whatever. Men are very simple, man. So if a girl can't hold up a simple thing like giving you sex, bruh, she's done. I can't tell you guys, I've kicked literally so many girls out of my place that say, oh, I don't feel like having sex. And I'm like, okay, cool. Get out. And I'll call a girl right in front of her, another one. I don't give a fuck. Like, you got to be cutthroat with these women because the reality is this, guys. Women are painfully rational when they mate select. So guys need to adapt that same exact mentality with women and realize that the only way you're going to win in 2020 dating in the modern day world where women have all the leverage, just keep it real. You got to treat them as expendable as just like they treat men. Right. They treat men expendable. They just don't talk about it, but they definitely do. That's why you get left on scene. That's why I don't respond to your text messages. That's why I don't fucking, you know what I'm saying? They curve you, whatever it may be. So men need to be ruthless too. And if a girl denies you sex, that is ultimate ground for get out my place. You're done. You don't ever let a girl leverage sex against you, man.
Real talk. And what you just said, it escapes me now because like as soon as a woman leverages sex against you, then you've literally just lost all the power.
Max.
Listen, you can never let this happen because if you do, you're done. Like, dude, that is the beginning of the end. In every way, shape, or form. Red Pill.
A beta buck fuck a cuck. What is that? What is it called? What is that? What does that mean? The beta buck fuck.
Alpha fucks beta bucks.
Beta buck. Yeah, the dude that she fucks, and then the dude with the 401k that she wants to marry. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those red pill vernacular things. Red Pill Logic $5 says, dude on the screen plays on the Tyler Perry show Sisters. I don't watch anything Tyler Perry puts out. I'm just not. It is what it is. Bulldog Mindset $20 says, just showing my support. What's up, my brothers? What's going on, John? My man, Son Mez is in. Nigatar, that's interesting. Is he like a nigga and a minotaur? Is that what that is?
Yeah, these names kill me, man.
Okay. There's one dude on Instagram who followed me. His name is Nigga Trump. You be kidding me. Quarantine to God, $5. Says he's former NFL player too, raised by single mother. He's used to taking orders from who? Mama. Absolutely. See, McNamara says, you said on your show about Adina Rivers that women will cheat when the relationship is going well. Do men move this way too? Sweetheart, Ms. McNamara, men and women are different. Men cheat for very different reasons that women cheat. You understand? So it doesn't matter whether the relationship is good or bad. If a man has enough value and hot young women are throwing the pussy at him, he's going to fuck them regardless of how the relationship is going. So the next time you want to try to conflate men and women in the form of a super chat, I will ban your ass and I will refund your money. Hashtag fuck out of here with that nonsense.
And Donovan, this is funny that I love that she made that comment. This is how a lot of modern day women think.
Yes.
That them cheating, right, is the same. And what they don't understand is that for men, we could cheat and still love our wife the same. It doesn't work the other way around. You know what I'm saying? It's hilarious.
Check this out. Listen, I'm going to tell this story again because I got to tell it. Long story short.
Please do.
Long story short. Peter Sellers, he's the dude that played Agent Jacques Clouseau on the franchise The Pink Panthers back in the 1960s, right? He was an incorrigible womanizer, okay? He married his wife. They were married for 12 years. He cheated on her all the time. She kept taking him back. Finally, she had enough. Well, Peter Sellers was devastated by this, whatever, but he kept sleeping around with women. At the age of 54, he dies of a massive heart attack. He'd been married 3 other times after his first wife. He'd banged, dude, he's got like 20 kids, illegitimate kids, whatever. When they found his body, he had one picture in his wallet. That was of his first wife. Ricky Ricardo and Lucille Ball. Ricky Ricardo was cheating on Lucille Ball all the time. All the time. Lucille Ball finally divorced him. Years later, when he found out that Lucille had some sort of sickness, this dude rode on horseback something like 20 miles to go to her side at the hospital, right? This is how this works. Now, on the other side of the street, the reason O.J. Simpson allegedly killed Nicole Brown Simpson is because O.J. still loved Nicole. That's why. Like, listen, male cheating and female cheating is different, and we said it earlier.
Completely different.
Men compartmentalize sex. Women compartmentalize resources. And here's the thing. Bitches are always talking about if he loves you, he won't cheat on you. Wrong. If he loves you, he won't let you find out. Then men will say, well, if she loves you, she won't cheat on you. Wrong. If she loves you, she will allow you to protect her from herself in the form of never allowing herself to be put in positions to cheat. You don't think that if some 6'4" Adonis ass looking nigga moved right next door, he's rich, he's ripped, he drives a Mercedes Benz, looks like fucking Shamar Moore, you don't think Devin would go over there and fuck that nigga if she knew I wouldn't find out? Of course she would. Are you kidding me? This is the difference. So the next time, see McNamara, you come in my chat trying to conflate men and women, I'm going to ban your ass, and then I'm going to send your money back. End of discussion. So sick of these bitches in here. Well, what about men and women?
Yeah.
Hashtag bitch, please. Hey, fill out that application for Kevin Samuels. I'm sure that he'll be ready to pump and dump your ass. Fucking Christ. Freelance Ronin with the $5 super chat says, dude in the video clip has more feelings than a Lifetime movie. She sees the weakness and is making him dance like a puppet because he actually pins her. He pins her down several times, but she never answers his question directly because she knows that'll prove his point. But the reason she does this is because there are no consequences.
Quick, Donovan, I was going to just say real fast, like he already lost because he's negotiating like for box. Like what he should have done was, oh, you don't want to? Okay, cool. You don't want to hook up? Cool. Literally, all her stuff is in trash bags outside the door, and there's another batter chick there waiting for you. That's the only way that you're gonna let. I always say this, man. Women only get in line when you have other women in line. You need to let her know on certain terms she's replaceable. That's the only way you're gonna make chicks respect you. It's crazy. I hate to say that like on the air, but like guys, like for everyone watching, chicks only take you serious and respect you when they know that you can kick them to the curb like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just the
give your woman the gift of being uncomfortable.
Facts.
Give your woman the gift of being uncomfortable and never deprive your woman the privilege of working for your continued commitment.
That's it. Now, let's not forget, during this entire interview, he has some sort of unicorn horn stuck to the top of his head while his wife is telling the entire world, I'm sleepy and I'd rather sleep and take care of the kids than fuck you.
Right.
I thought it was like a bag.
I'm an image guy, so I'm looking at the imagery of all this, and I'm like, bro, this is so bad. So bad.
Yeah, but if you listen to it, as we listen to the videos, you're going to see that he's the problem. It's not. I'm going to.
Yeah, he is.
He's the number one problem because.
There's more.
There's more because as we played, he's taking into account her. See, she can act, and she'll tell him like a man would. Just because I want it doesn't mean you have to give it to me.
Nigga, it was horrible.
And that's where a lot of guys don't understand. That a lot of guys who don't know women, who don't have sex, they will buy in and sign the contract thinking I'm gonna get sex from her if I lock her down. You'll see as we go on. You'll see he's the cake in this thing, man.
That's why I said when I was a beta male bitch boy, it was my problem. I was the reason I was getting poor treatment because I look back and I'm like, hell, if I had a pussy, I wouldn't have wanted to fuck the bitch I was.
Hey, I don't think any of us would.
I mean, I'm just saying. I always tell my clients when I'm working out with them, like, you gotta ask yourself, would I want to fuck me? And when you walking around and doing these problematic things that us that were raised by mommy were taught to do, this Joe anything, drinking your bath water, rubbing your toes, and all this other fuck shit.
God almighty.
Man, I'm telling you, I feel bad for these dudes because I was this dude. And I'm like, he thought he was gaining some brownie points with his audience by trying to understand his woman. And I'm like, you just look like a biznatch in front of the world.
Look, check this out. I was a big time simp, but I ain't drinking. I never drank no bath water, and I damn sure didn't lick no goddamn toes. I'll tell you that right. Not me. Nigatar with the $5 super test. I was doing the Jimi Hendrix meets Lil Wayne thing. Anyway, keep speaking the truth about true female nature. Appreciate that. Amazed. $5 says we celebrate red pill because until now, these truths have never been told.
And nigga avatar. Maybe that's it.
And many a man was ruined accordingly. Thank you all for enlightening. Appreciate that. Eric. $5 says a little something for the panel. Thanks for the red pills. You guys seem to like me roasting C. McNamara. C. McNamara's question was not about what it was. What she wanted to do was say men cheat just like women cheat. Well, what about the men that cheat? Dude, fuck y'all. There are plenty of channels that talk about nigga shit. This ain't one of them. Okay, let's get back to this sorry ass video. Oh, damn it. It stopped sharing the goddamn screen. Hold on. I'll break this up. Hold on. The shit was so fucking fun. There it is. Okay, here we go.
If you know that you don't want to have to deal with him all the time just wanting you, why do you push monogamy on that?
Well, who's to say I pushed anything on anybody?
You see? Ooh. See? And it's funny. No. But here's the thing, though.
He's right.
No, hold on. Real quick. She did, though. She absolutely fucking did. And hold on. That's the problem. And that's where he pinned her down. Here's his problem. Just because she pushes it on you doesn't mean you have to succumb. So what he is doing is he is blaming her for the bad decision that he made.
Yes.
And so if he expects her to hold herself accountable for a decision that he made, then you're fighting a losing battle. That's what this is. Steve, what you got?
No, I was just saying, women are going to push babies, marriage, and kids. That's just their genetic in them. They're going to push it. Just because they're pushing it doesn't mean I have to give it to you, like you said. But he gave it to her. He said, see, his thing was one way to get some ass from her is by doing what she wants. That's what they do.
Right. And the thing is, she's doing her job. He's not doing his job. Right. She's supposed to, like Steve said, she's supposed to be saying these things. Just like it's like a kid. A kid is going to say, "I want candy and ice cream for breakfast." You're supposed to say that because they're kids, but as a parent, you're supposed to say no.
Right.
So as the man, he's supposed to tell her, "Look, that's not the way it's going to go," but he ain't do that.
Right. And now that the shit's gone sideways, he wants to blame her. Well, you pushed this on. Well, that's what we're supposed to do, bruh. And you tell her fuck no. And so now
You guys ever watch Ali? If you guys ever watched the first Ali Frazier fight?
Yes. Yeah. 1971. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that left. Ali had the legs and everything else, but Joe Frazier just kept taking the legs away with that left hook to the body. He's trying to dance all around, and she keeps landing left hooks. Thonk, thonk. I didn't force it on you. You didn't have to say it. I'm like, God damn.
You know what I'm telling this guy? It's so funny. Guys always get mad. Well, I bought her this and I did that, blah, 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 blah. Right. And if he actually tells the girl this, what's the first thing they say? You didn't have to do anything for me. I didn't ask you to do that for me. You chose to do that of your own free will and volition. You can't get mad at a woman for being a woman.
Damn.
Be mad at yourself for not being a man. Bitches are going to be, but you can't blame her for being what the fuck she is. If I leave a steak, like, dude, I love my dogs. Okay. If I leave a steak in my dog's crate, and expect him not to, if I leave it there and then get mad that he ate the steak, whose fault is that? That's my fault. He's a dog. He's gonna eat the fucking steak. So you don't put the steak in the goddamn crate. You know that if you marry a woman, she's gonna snap her legs shut, no matter what she tells you. So when you marry her and she snaps her legs shut, you can't be mad because you already knew that was gonna happen. Not trying to hear that nonsense. Here we go.
Like,
well, we know that you pushed monogamy on me.
I pushed monogamy. I forced you to get married to me.
See how she changed it up? See, this is what women do. He says, you push monogamy on me. Again, blaming her for his decision. But once again, like a woman, she thought, wait, I forced you to marry me? No, that's not what he said. But again, what you're going to have to understand, this is why you never argue with women, because women are never going to give you a straight answer. They're never going to answer questions directly because they know what you're trying to say. Lucario, what are your thoughts on what she just said?
No, see, this is the thing. You got to understand, women are clever. This is why you guys got to be understand game, because what happens is she knows exactly what she did, but he doesn't know what she did. So now when he says, "Oh, well, you pressured me, you did this," he's like, "Wait a second, I didn't do anything. You did that." But she knows that he was stupid enough to listen to what she said and then do the thing that she wanted him to do. So when he does the thing that she wants him to do, and she ultimately knows that he's going to have a problem with it, she's going to flip it right back on him and say, "Well, that was your fault."
Bingo, Byron, what you got, man?
Yeah. So this is there's two things here, man, and this is why I always say, everybody that's watching this, men need to understand. I literally had to scream at somebody on Instagram about this earlier today. As a man, you're not on the same dating and mating timeline as a woman. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. I personally think, as a guy in 2020, you should not even be thinking about a marriage or a relationship unless you're 35 years old, making over $100,000 a year, got 6 months of expenditures in your savings account, and you've had sex with at least 50 girls. And the reason why I say that is because you're not going to be informed enough, bare minimum 50. Like, you're not going to be informed enough to understand what you like, what you don't like, what you're going to tolerate, what you're not going to tolerate until you've dealt with that many women. And the thing is, quite frankly, let's keep it real. A majority of the virgins in 2020, what are they? They're men. Why is that? Because women have way more experience with the opposite gender than men do. Guys have no choice but to get out there and date a lot of girls and figure it out, because quite frankly, women are running laps around most dudes. And if you're not smart, and let's say you're a virgin, you're making over $100,000 a year, you don't know any better, right? A girl that was promiscuous in her past, that's probably a bad long-term bet or investment for you, what's she gonna do? She's gonna sell you purity. Oh, I'm a good girl. I'm the nicest girl ever. Blah, blah, blah. And then what are you gonna do? You're gonna buy a hook, line, and sinker, right? Because women are purity dealers, like I always say. You're gonna get shacked up with this chick. You're not gonna know better. And next thing you know, you're losing half your money. You're losing your kids. You're losing your house, everything like that. So guys in 2020 got to understand two things. Number one, you have to have yourself ready. 35 years old, the things I was talking about earlier.
Right.
Number two, you got to understand that you're not on the same mating timeline as a woman whatsoever. If a chick is 29 and she's starting to freak out and wants to get married, tough shit. It's not your problem. As a guy, you need to actually wait longer so that you become a better assessor of character with the women that you're going to deal with. And it takes time to figure these things out. So the dumbest thing a guy can do is marry or get married or get in a long-term relationship when he's at his peak. That should be when you're having your fun, because now as a 30-year-old guy, you're the hot 18-year-old getting invited to all the parties. So guys got to know their worth, man.
Oh, I agree. Solo, what you got? We got Solo, then Steve.
Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Donovan, you know, Kevin and Donovan, what song I play right literally when a girl says she just parked in my parking lot? Hold on. Donovan, the anticipation of getting some new vagina. I'm sorry, but there are a few things that are just as thrilling as that. Remember the late great Tupac Shakur?
Yes, sir.
I'm not a killer, don't push me.
That's right.
But revenge is the sweetest joy next to getting pussy.
That's right.
Now, Donovan, you know me, I prefer paycheck first or maybe two girls at the same time. That's been my fetish recently. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Donovan, I find it hard to believe that this dude is an NFL player. He must have rode the bench. Because if this dude had groupies and had that NFL experience that we always hear about, he wouldn't be like, you tricked me into getting married. Blah. You know what I think it was, Donovan? Maybe she did throw it at him, and he's like, woof. It was probably amazing, and I don't know. Maybe she stopped because, you know, girls do that switch and bait too. But anyway, Kevin, I don't know. Steve, I know Steve's got a lot to say. So, Steve, go ahead, bro.
No. It's cool. Here's the thing. Y'all young men got to listen, man. It doesn't matter how old you are, because if you're 35 or 40, you're still going to be a sucker if you're a sucker. It doesn't matter how old you are. And if you're sleeping with 50 or more women, that's just sleeping with women. It's not living with a woman. It's not establishing what you are as a man, what a relationship is. Look, a 35-year-old man doesn't know what he wants in a relationship, because if he's just sleeping with women and doesn't work on himself, he's going to get ran over by a woman. And you got to know what you want when you live with a woman. You got to set expectations for a woman. So it's not about how many women sleep with. It's that one woman you stay with that is going to ride with your rules, laws, and codes. Because like I guess I got married at 28. So I break the mold, I guess, because I got married at 28. I don't have no problems. I don't have no issues.
Steve, listen. I agree with you, but what you have to understand, dude, you were.
Times have changed, bro. Times have changed.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Steve got laid when he was 13 years old, right? So, you know what I'm saying? So Steve takes and Steve had a lot more experience a lot earlier than we did. And so the things that should in Steve's mind, the things that should be common sense for the average 25-year-old, we were lost. Steve knew more about the game at 20 than I did at 35. So the learning curve is the learning curve is going to be a little bit different, and it does depend on experience. The reason why Steve knows what he knows is because he got an early start, and the earlier start that you get, the more experience you have. I'll tell you this: the less experience you have with women, whether it's sleeping with them or living with them, the more apt you are to be taken advantage of. That's a fact.
Right? Yeah, it's true. But I'm just saying, sleeping with a woman has nothing to do with living with a woman. Has nothing to do with being engaged with a woman. Has nothing to do with being married with a woman. See, if you haven't been there, you don't see what those who have been there see. When you move a woman in, that's where you have to establish things. It doesn't matter how many women you sleep with, because notice this guy on the video. He's with a woman that he's with that's running him. He's being ran. So it doesn't mean how many women he slept with in college or in high school. He's still the cuck in the whole thing, man.
I think it's a combination of things. I definitely think you have to be here's the thing. You can't learn about women unless you sleep with them. Yes, there are some things that you can't learn about women only by fucking them. But here's one thing that every woman will try to do if you're trying to sleep with them. They will put that pressure on you to take it to the next level. Let's move in. Let's get married. And that's where this guy was. This guy was a marginal NFL player. He clearly hadn't slept with enough women because the first woman who threw it at him and said, hey, let's get married, he decided, oh, okay, let's do it. Had he had more experience with more women, he'd have been like, okay, wait a minute. I've seen this movie 48, 50 times before. I know how this movie ends because women throw it at me like this all the time. Let's hold off on this. But the first or second woman that threw it at him and said, hey, let's get married, pulled the bait and switch. That's why he's in the position he's in.
I got a quick point, real quick.
Yeah,
the thing is that the more women you hook up with, just like Donovan was saying, they're not going to be able to sell you purity, and they're not going to be able to BS you when you know what you're looking for and you know how to deal with women. The thing is that when guys are sexually inexperienced, almost all the time, they're going to make bad decisions on shacking up with a chick, marrying a chick, whatever it may be, because they can't see the warning signs that, this girl's probably a bad long-term investment. So for me, I'm saying bare minimum in 2020, the way things are now with how promiscuous women have become, you owe it to yourself as a guy. You got to get out there and at least have a 50 notch counter higher. And go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, listen. I agree with you, Steve. How many women had you slept with by the age of 20?
Oh, tons.
No,
right? Donovan. But sleeping with a woman is, if you haven't lived with a woman, you can't say what you're saying. I don't know, Maya, if you ever lived. If you have never lived with a woman, then how are you saying what you're saying? Because
here's the thing.
Living with a woman is different, dude. It's different when you live with a woman and sleep with her.
Steve, perfect point. But you'll know if she's worthy of moving in if you've had sex with a lot of girls. That's the point.
But you don't know how much game women have. Women have more game than most of y'all have on your pinky, dog. Y'all don't understand.
No. You're right. Listen, they do have more game, which is why you have to experience them. Women are always going to, dude, I think of it this way. I always use this analogy. A 12-year-old girl, and I can't use Steve in this analogy because you're sort of an outlier. You and Alan Roger Curry you guys are anomalies. But a 12-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy, that 12-year-old girl knows more about the world and intersexual dynamics. Yes, intersexual dynamics than that 12-year-old boy will ever know. 20 years old, same thing. Her entire life, a woman has the advantage in terms of knowledge. The only time a man starts to have an advantage is when he hits his 30s, but it has nothing to do with his experience, or not his experience, but his knowledge per se, because women are always going to have more knowledge. It's just the sexual market value. But if a man doesn't have sexual experiences with women, he is going to succumb to the wiles of a woman. If a guy has had sex with 2 women, the second woman he has sex with says, hey, you know what? Let's move in together. You don't just, if you live with one woman and she turns your life upside down, it's very hard to recover from that because you probably have a kid or 2. She probably roped you into marriage. And now you're 32. You've got 3 kids you're paying child support for. Okay. Now I understand women, but I got 3 kids in tow and that's hampering my life right now. This again is, I agree with the both of you, but I agree that you have to have experience with women to understand what to avoid. Because here's the thing. If you don't have sex with a lot of women, a girl could be all tatted up. Hey, let's move in together. Every one of us on this panel would say hell no. But if you if you haven't fucked enough girls, you would never know. Well, she seems okay. She's nice to me. She has all these cool tattoos. But what's the worst that can happen? That's where experience comes into play.
Then you're making it about sex, then, Donovan. You're not making it about the man, because you're looking at the opponent. Y'all don't understand. The opponent changes when you move in. It's not the sex. It's the man that is calling the shots in the household. That's going to dictate what happens from that point.
I agree. I'm not going to move a woman in to learn lessons from her. What I'm going to do,
I think one of the unifying points on this is, I think we've all experienced this. Normally I never do stuff like this. And the first time you hear that as a dude, you're like, wow, I'm special. The second time, you're like, I'm the fucking man. The third time, you're like, gosh, I'm a god. The 20th time, y'all all are sluts.
There you go. There it is. Let me read these super chats and get back to the video. Eric Extraordinaire, $5 says proclamations of celibate nights are sometimes her asking for seduction. To get sex quickly, it needs to feel romantic for her. I agree with that. That's almost like the slut shield. She wants it to feel organic. C. McNamara, $5 says, I'm not trying to conflate men and women at all. I'm asking because I value your insight. I'm sorry it came across that way. That's bullshit. You're trying to conflate men. Okay. I forgive you. Real quick, because oh my god, they're coming in hot. Oh my goodness, I had no idea they were coming in so freaking quickly. Just give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Holy god. Okay, Nigatar, $20 says he has to stop trying to be human logical and start being animal logical, because that's the logic that the world follows. Life is like a woman. That's why if you're good at women, you're good at life. Human logic is for men. Right. He is arguing with a woman. That's his first mistake. His second mistake is trying to use logic to argue with a woman. It just doesn't work that way. Amazed with the $2 super chat says, thank you all for the enlightenment. Andres Green says, thanks for the stream, guys. Burn Thrust, $5 says, women want the respect of men. Women want to be treated like women and want the accountability of children. That's exactly right. Torpedo Man, $5 says, salute and happy days to my masters and brothers. We're not your masters, but we're your brothers. I can't have that kind of responsibility over to the man. Book of Alpharonomy, $50 says, keep on moving, don't stop. Brothers, appreciate that. Dr. Thunder, $5 says,
wait. Shout out to BOA, man. I see you doing your thing. Salute to him.
Yeah, I've heard of Book of Alpharonomy for a while, but I'm really not. Does he have a channel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Book of Alpharonomy, man. He gives it to you straight and raw, man.
Good
Like
content.
he's definitely a motivator, man. He's
good content.
Yeah, I mean, Book of Alpharonomy got me in the gym. Shout out to
his channel. That dude drops $50 super chats in here on the regular. Dr. Thunder says, salute to the 7. Mark and some other stuff says, Don, you're absolutely right. I'm 54 years old and my wife don't try me anymore. Shout out to Mr. Samuels. Jason Bravo, $5 says, the trick to combat a woman's emotional argument is not to give in emotion, but with 100% logic instead. Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to unpack that later. Scott Graff, $8 says, what happens if you tell her you're going to get it somewhere else? Turn off your phone, walk out the door, come back in the morning. You don't have to tell her that you can.
Don't do that.
Women inherently know that you can fuck other women. This guy clearly can't fuck other women. That's why his wife is sitting there toying with him like he's a 2-year-old boy. Nigatar says, I need fresh fit to raise my son. Thank you. I'm too beta to do my son any good. Oh, wow. This is getting crazy. Again, says the man mindset is wrong. Age matters for women, not for women. A 15-year-old is no different from a 25-year-old female and so on. I guess that depends on the context.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Jason Bravo, $5. God, it's like these two. Coach Greg Adams made the marriage wheel for a reason. After the connection phase and the investment phase comes the bait and switch. Game over. That's exactly what this woman did to this guy. This guy, it is clear that this guy did, and you would think that being an NFL player, he would have at least some semblance of experience with women. Clearly,
he had like 2 years. He was undrafted and had like 1 year at the Lions and 1 year at another team. So
yeah,
he was in the NFL, but not really.
No, I agree.
I'll be right back. My food just got here.
Oh, well, go get that food, man. Did you get Popeyes or Chick-fil-A? I hope
Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday, so it's Popeyes.
You got Popeyes. True Chino with the $10 super chat says, glad to see you all again. Been missing this real man combo on Sundays. Made a dime off my bucks and added a new peace sleeve to the rotation. Standing on my square and showing my work. Keep pushing. Yes, this is season 2, episode 1 of the 7. Red Pill Mike, $5 says, once again, we have another example of looks, money, status, and zero game. She says jump, and he jumps. Instead of her feel, he's not afraid to bolt. And that's just it. It doesn't just happen for men, right? We have to learn. See, that's the thing. We as men, we have to build value. Women simply have to preserve it. Just because we're born with a Y chromosome doesn't mean we're automatically just supposed to get it. Now, if we have masculine fathers in front of us, then that helps. But at the end of the day, you have to, you got to get out there. You have to get out there and experience life in women to be able to at least start to navigate this stuff. Almost done here. C-Dub, $20 says, modern marriage is the ultimate one-sided contract. Women can break the contract and have the law force men to uphold their end. Men can't enforce the only end of the contract, sex, they care about. No deal. Black Bruce Lee. That's interesting. says the late great Patrice O'Neal said it best. It's not about them, women. It's about you. You dictate what you will and will not tolerate.
There you go.
Yeah, that's exactly what Steve's been saying. That's exactly what Steve, and Steve actually says this. Oh, he did some acting jobs. Steve said this quite a bit. Okay, let's continue with the interview.
Time out. I didn't say you forced me to get married, but did you not say to me that you wanted to be engaged?
Look at the look on her face. Is that the look of a woman who respects the man who's talking?
He's about to break him down. Watch.
Jesus Christ.
And you wanted to be married before you live with me? You didn't say that?
I want $1 billion. That don't mean I'm going to get it. I can want
but
something, but not.
There it is.
You right now. You dodging the question.
Nobody pressed you to do it. Yes, is that something I wanted? Yes, it was.
See, there it is. She said it, but again, it falls back on him. Yes, I said I wanted it, but that's not his fault, or that's not her fault. She's going to do what she does. You don't have to say yes. Just like she said, I want $1 billion doesn't mean I'm going to get it. So she literally told him, listen, I could have asked you for anything. You didn't have to give it to me. Anybody's thoughts? Steve, what you got?
I'm going to go after Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I'm just saying, this is what I'm saying.
There you go.
He, again, don't get it twisted. We can look him up. I'm sure he's had women. Sure he's had sex with probably 60, 70, 80 women. Different ball game when you in with a woman that knows the game. She just said, like LaCara said, she just put it out there. He was so thirsty that he was a chump that said, okay. She could have said no. He didn't know how to say no. That's all I want to say. He couldn't say no.
It's real talk.
You know what, Donovan, can I add on real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
And by the way, I agree with everything you said, Steve. But the only thing I got to say is, when you're in the NFL, right, he's in the top echelon in regards to being a man, right, in regards to being a high value man, in regards to getting women. He shouldn't have been sweating this chick. Like, that's just me, though. Maybe I'm different. But it should have never come to that, Steve, where he's got his nose up in her butt. It just shouldn't have never come to that.
Because just because you're an NFL player doesn't make you a man.
But Steve, you're missing the point. What I'm saying is, if he got the experience with the other women, if he been through the gauntlet, because I'm pretty sure there's bad chicks that he smashed, right? I'm saying if he got the experience with the women, period, it should have never gotten to this point.
I think the situation is, well, let me say, I guess two things. One is, with the woman, she's looking at him funny because she's looking at him like he's kind of stupid. For example, like if I worked at a job and I said to my boss, hey, I want a 1,000% raise, and he just gives it to me, and then he's like, hey, the company is falling, and I'm like, well, why are you looking at me for? He's like, well, didn't you ask me for a $1,000 raise? And I'm like, well, yeah, you don't have to give it to me. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how she's looking at him. But as far as to what Steven, I think Myron and Solo was saying, is that between like the experience is that sex and actual relationship experience are two different things.
Totally.
So that's the difference. Meaning you can have experience dealing with women in a sexual manner, but if like I'll say it like this: a guy who's had a 5-year relationship with a woman has more relationship experience than a guy who had sex with 100 women. You see what I'm saying? Because
you're absolutely right. But check this out: there is no relationship if the sex doesn't happen first. Okay, sex leads to relationships, and I think that's what we're all saying. Right. Let's say, because think of it this way: this guy's an NFL player, right? Let's say this dude was a virgin. How quickly? How much worse would this guy? Because let's just take it all the way, right? If we're going to argue experience doesn't matter, let's just take it all the way. Let's say this guy was a virgin when he met her. Mm-hmm. How much more upside down would he be right now? So now the question becomes: if it's not about experience, and then what is it about? It's about being a man. Okay, so how then does a man become a man if he doesn't need to have sexual experiences with women? How does he learn about that? Because you damn sure can't move in with a woman if you're a virgin. Like, that's just a fool's errand. So now the question becomes how.
No, he can have actual experience with a woman by doing other things outside of sex. That doesn't necessarily mean he has to be in a long-term relationship with her. That doesn't mean that has to be his girlfriend, but he has to have more than sexual experience. So meaning if a guy had 50 one-night stands, that doesn't do anything for his experience as with women in the long term. So what I'm saying is that it has to be it's a combination, because he does have to have sex, because the sex is going to be the thing that's going to give him that.
This is exactly what we're arguing here.
Right.
It has to happen.
He needs both, though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, now that I agree with. That I agree. Yeah, listen. There are different sexual encounters. One night stands aren't going to teach you anything about women except for how to fuck them. But dude, when I was in Vegas, I had one night stands, but then I had 1 week fuck buddy arrangements. I had relationships. I had sexual relationships on many different levels. And because I learned about women on those different levels, that sort of made me into what I am today. But a man can go out. Now I agree. A man can go out and have 100 one night stands. He can still get taken to the cleaners, read mystery, right? The mystery method. He's all suicidal because he knew how to get one night stands, but now his life is upside down because it didn't
exactly right
after that. But again, and I think that's what we're saying here. Everything starts with sex, right? You have experience with women starts with sex. I mean,
I'll say this real fast. Most men's mistakes with women can almost always be rooted back to sexual inexperience. That's what I'll say. Like a lot of guys that mess up with chick, whether a chick took him to the cleaners and divorce, or she cheated on him, whatever it may be, it came from a lack of sexual experience, not being able to pick up on signs that maybe she was cheating, she was doing other things. And these are things you just start to pick up when you get really good with women, like, oh, she's on some bullshit, or, oh, she's doing this, she's doing that. Okay, she's probably involved in this. And they weren't able to maneuver quickly enough because they didn't have the knowledge to draw from.
I guess maybe we need to add a little bit more. It's not just about the sexual experience, but it has to do with the things around it too. Is that what we're saying?
Right, exactly. That's
when you make it about sex, it shows your lack of experience. That's what y'all understand. When you make it all about sex, you're giving her the high position, because then she'll just push crumbs off the table. She'll dictate when you get to sleep with her. She'll dictate when you get to date her. She'll dictate, just like what you see right here. She's dictating every part of their relationship.
You know what? I think we're arguing semantics. Because sexual experience with women, not all sexual experiences with women are the same. They're not all just one night stands. When you have sexual experience with women on every level, you learn from every experience. Maybe the 1 week fuck buddy arrangement, maybe the 2 week fuck buddy arrangement, maybe you date a woman for a month, but it all starts with sex. And the less women a man has sex with, the less opportunity he has to have experiences with her outside of sex. Because if he's having experiences, a man who has experiences with women outside of sex, what do we call that? We call that a simp, right? And ain't nobody trying to be a simp. So again, experience is absolutely key. You have to be able to have experience with women outside of sex, but sex has to occur.
I'd like to make one correction to all you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to need to stop calling him an NFL player. He has 4 receptions for 41 yards in his entire career.
Oh my God. So he has as many receptions.
Wait, Kevin, can you repeat that?
He has 4 receptions for 41 yards in his entire career.
Oh, wow. So he's averaging like 10 yards.
So this dude, like I went to OU when it was a national powerhouse.
Oh, with Barry Switzer, Brian Spencer.
When you were in those schools, the guys who started had a different swag than the dude who were practice squad. The practice squad still got better than average poon, better than average access to a lot of things, but it never translated into life. This dude is a practice squad dude. He was able to get maybe 185, whatever the league minimum was. He was able to get there for a couple of years, sniff around the NFL, and then hang around guys that played in the league. But his wife looks at him and says, she married down. He could have been something he never was. This is an unhappy, frustrated woman. And I feel sorry for a lot of these practice squad dudes, because they tend to kind of go out of their I don't want to say out of their level, not league, but level.
No, I agree. Like the practice squad guy for Aaron Rodgers can't bang the same chicks Aaron Rodgers is banging. He's making $22.5 million a year. You're making $700,000.
Right. You do know it's not about the sex. Well, as a gigolo, it was never about the sex, man. It was about the leadership that she was lacking in her relationship.
Right.
It's never about the game. It's not about. It's just like you say, you need the sex, but the word again.
Wait, Steve, tell that to the incels. Tell that to the incels.
I'm just saying that. Yeah, y'all are right. Yes, you got to know sex, but
I believe everything is about sex.
You can see the lack of leadership in the man. That's what the biggest issue is: the leadership.
I think what you're meaning to say is exactly what we're saying. Sex for men simply has to be a means to an end. It can't be the end, right? Yeah. So like when you have a sexual experience with a woman, we enjoy the sex, but what a lot of men do, just like you said, is they sleepwalk through their interactions with women. All they're doing is fucking these girls and not really paying attention. Then we wonder why a guy who seemingly has had sex with hundreds of women, the first woman who actually pushes a little bit and fucks him over. Well, like, dude, this guy had all kinds of sex with women. He should know better. No, just because you're fucking women doesn't mean you know anything about them. You know how to fuck them, right?
You want to lead them to orgasm. Nowhere else.
Yeah, right, exactly. But like I said, experience with women does not happen without sex. Sex is just the sort of the entry point. I think we can
agree.
Right.
Eric Extraordinaire says football simp is not a victim of bait and switch. He just fumbled the ball in the game. That is a cute analogy. Janet Clatalian with the 25 Hong Kong dollar says, I know what's going on with Roosh and all, and respect that, but ROK going offline left a crater in the red pill community. Yeah, listen, I respect Roosh's decision. Roosh decided to shut down Return of Kings. We were the beacon of red pill light, and he shut it down. We're gonna go for about 15 minutes more, guys. So hang on to your hats. I got to get through all of these super chats. They're coming in hot and heavy today.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yoko the Shinobi, $5, says was raised by my mom. Can't seem to shake the feels for my first to break the loop. Any advice? Wait a minute. Break the first loop. I have no idea what you're asking there, Yoko the Shinobi. You're going to have to be a little more specific. I don't know. Anybody know what he means by shake the feels for my first to break the loop? Oh, dude, that's just going to take
Feeling where it's first love.
First love. Yeah, that's going to take time, dude. You sound like a young guy. Listen, man, you're going to get your heart broken. The first girl you ever have. And by the way, men are not virgins. Okay. We have sex for the first time. There's no hymen to be broken. We don't get penetrated. At least we would hope not to be penetrated. Men are not virgins. We just have sex for the first time. So there we go. As Solo mean mugs the screen there. Red Sing Blue, $5 says she won the debate. He was on her lead. Yeah, I agree. She was bobbing and weaving like Floyd Mayweather. King Life says I would have pulled the barbecue stained divorce papers out of my back pocket, opens a moist towelette, and wipe my hands clean. NYQ31 says this guy is emasculating himself. He's just going along, letting him make a fool out of herself. Red Pill Mike says she's telling him, instead of putting me in check, you gave me everything I asked for, then expected me to give you unconditional respect. Steve, there it is. There it is. That's exactly what it is. He is holding his woman responsible for her being a woman, and you can't do that. So I'll give you that one there. Garn, $5, says just because he had the opportunity doesn't mean he learned the lesson. She probably thinks she's lucky to get the ring before another girl did. She thought that then. She certainly doesn't think it now, because look at her screen. This bitch has no respect for her man. Like, that's just all there is to it. The Modern World, $5 Canadian says, does this guy not have a Twitter account where he can view relationship updates from other players? It doesn't matter. You can't live vicariously through other people. Like, you have to have real world experience, sexually or otherwise. Albatross Flight, $5 says, why is the NFL guy airing his dirty laundry on a podcast? Isn't he just embarrassing himself? This guy was in the league for 15 minutes. He's not really a former NFL player. Nigatar says, can we stop shaming men for only wanting women for sex? That's all we want them for. The reason we need them to be beautiful is for social status. Fresh Fit remains right. It's all about sex, and we got to stop being shamed into thinking otherwise. It's not all about sex, but sex is what starts the experience.
That's why you're not getting it.
Exactly. Freelance Ronan, $10. She's looking at him like her child that she's about to send to his room without TV, video game, or internet. It's a lack of backbone and self-worth on his part that he himself must fix. My God, these are coming in. Mr. Washington, $5, says a 400-meter dash and sprinter and a marathon runner both are runners, but they don't train or experience running the same. Great salute from SBM7 something or other. I don't know what that is. Dynamorphic. Ooh, wait a minute. Dynamorphic says, Donovan, I need a consultation with you. I'm trying to give my friend the red pill, but he's so nice he can't bring himself to hurt women's feelings. Dynamorphic, I do not do consultations anymore. And no, I'm not going to apologize. And no, you cannot give your friend the red pill. The red pill only digests for men who seek it out. That's my best advice. I'm going to play this straight through. There's about 4 more minutes left. We'll play this straight through. Then we'll give our final thoughts.
But
you didn't impress me. Are you going to lie now to the people because we talking about sex? You're going to lie now to the people?
Deval. Knowing
you didn't want monogamy?
Of course I did.
So then why are you avoiding the question?
That's not avoiding the question. I'm saying, does that mean because I wanted and I requested that you were going to deliver it? Like, nobody pressed you for that.
Time out. You just said you wanted it and requested it. Do you not hear yourself?
I can make a request. Is the request going to be granted?
There you go.
Am I not granting you monogamy?
You are granting it to me.
So this is my question. This is my
always
question.
Look at your boy. Look at your boy.
This is my question. If you wanted monogamy,
okay,
why would you want monogamy if sex is a chore for you? That's the question. You're avoiding the question.
I'm not avoiding the question, but at first you said women or in general, me specifically, are pushing monogamy on somebody. Okay, yes, that's something that I wanted, but I didn't press you for it and be like, Deval, I'm gonna hold a gun to your head to propose to me.
Time out.
Also, let me finish.
That's
I was adequately prepared for marriage. And I've said that before, because if I knew that marriage and monogamy was going to involve me trying to meet you where you were at sexually for years to come, then I probably would have reevaluated it if I wanted to be monogamous anyway.
So that's fair, but we're not even talking about marriage. Let's even talk about dating, right?
Okay.
Two people are dating. Typically in society, who asks for exclusivity first, a woman or a man?
I would say a woman.
Thank you. That was my whole point. See, you were going all over the place. If women typically ask for exclusivity first, then when they get exclusivity, say, he always on me, he always want to have sex. Why are we asking men for exclusivity if we do not want to participate in sex at the same level as men? We have to think about what that does to a man. And I don't think that conversation is being had.
This guy expects a woman to exercise logic, and that's not going to happen.
Okay, I agree. And that part I agree with. Yes, that women are typically the ones that will ask for the exclusivity. I get that. Yes. But what I'm saying is, me as a woman, I don't think that I was necessarily prepared or in the mindset to know that. It's almost like once you get into it, then you're like, oh, shoot, like this is what I'm going to have to keep up with. Us speaking as 36-year-old people know that now. Had I known that at 26, I would have to contend with that. Even in the dating realm, then it might have been something I would have reevaluated.
Let's go back to what you asked me. You said you never pressured me.
If I didn't know I was going to have to fuck you this much, I wouldn't have married you.
Right. You said you no longer wanted to live up with me and shack up with me because you wanted to be my wife, not my girlfriend.
Right, because I wanted to know where the relationship was going.
That don't sound like pressure to you?
Guys, I got to stop it. This is why I always tell you the correct answer to we need to make this thing official or I'm leaving. The answer to that question, the answer to that shit test is best of luck to you.
Bye-bye.
That's it. I have been given this ultimatum dozens of times, and I have answered them all the same. I have not lost one woman because of it. They never, ever leave. Oh my God, this fucking bitch.
It sounds like me voicing where I see my life going. It sounds like me saying, this is what I would like. You can decide to meet me there. If not, reevaluate what exactly we're doing.
Okay.
Do I call it pressure per se? Not necessarily pressure.
See?
It is pressure.
What the fuck was that?
Bro, this woman is so disrespectful, bro. Like, yo, like, this is why Islam it's such a great religion. Like, bro, you never let your woman talk to you like that. That's outrageous, bro. Like, as soon as if she called me bro or like was saying I'm talking or any of this other wild stuff,
no,
conversation is done. Like, I think guys got to understand, man, that like a guy can have sex with a woman and not respect her. It doesn't matter to us, but it matters a lot for women. For a girl to fuck you, she's got to actually respect you. And I don't think a lot of men understand this, that like women need to respect you first, man. That's the most important thing. So when she's talking to you like this, I don't even know why he's having a discussion with her. Like, bro, this is a dub. Like, you should have been left, man. Like, when a woman disrespects you, it's over. Like, it's done.
Right.
Like, we talked about
a banana on his head going.
But Myron, this is the average guy. You're right, Myron, but this is the average guy that wants to lock the woman down. This is the average guy that has no sense of self. This is what the average guy is going to be like. Everyone's laughing, but they're going to be just like that because as soon as they get the first piece of ass, they're going to just what that guy's doing.
Listen, we got all these tough guys. I don't care how hot she is. We don't get women. Fuck these hoes. As soon as a woman even looks at his dick, he's gonna put a ring on it. Straight up. Let me. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing that I'm seeing here too. The problem with this guy is and this is a problem with a lot of guys. You're talking to your woman like she's an equal. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the problem.
Yes.
And I actually have a quote here by someone named Pemba Crozier. She said, "Compassion is not a relationship between the healer and the wounded. It's a relationship between equals." So she can't. So he's like, "Look, understand me, understand what I'm saying," but she can't see what he's saying, and he can't really understand what's going on because they're not actually equals. You understand what I'm saying? But he thinks they're equals, which is why he's coming at her like that. He's coming at her like, "Hey, woman, understand me." And this is why it's hard for men and women to understand each other because we're not equals. You see what I'm saying? So we can't have compassion for each other. You see? Right. So instead of him understanding what his role is as the man, he's trying to get sympathy from the woman who's looking at him like, "Why are you trying to get sympathy from me when you're supposed to be the leader? And this is why I don't respect you. And this is why I'm coming at you." You see what I'm saying? That's really what's going on.
And if he actually does get that sympathy from her, and he won't, but if she actually does have sympathy for him, then it's a wrap. Because women do not fuck men they have sympathy for. It's just the way it is.
I want to say this real fast, Donovan. This is why I always tell guys, don't ever show your vulnerabilities to your girl, like, about your problems, your money problem, nothing, because the guys got to understand, women fundamentally do not understand the plight of men whatsoever. They don't understand, the struggles in the sexual marketplace. They don't understand the struggles with being a man, burning performance. None of that. This is why I always say, you need to be the rock. If you have problems, you go to other men that you trust and know and talk to them about your problems. You never talk about your problems to your woman because she's not equipped to handle your problems, and quite frankly, she's not equipped to it, and she doesn't want to hear them. As much as she says, "Oh, baby, it's okay, you can confide in me," no, fuck that. You don't know my problems, and you definitely don't know how to solve them. I will defer to other men that I know and respect that are my equals, and then I will continue to lead our relationship because I know for a fact you depend on me. So I can never look at you and say, "Hey, what do you think?" Like, she could give you opinions, but she's not equipped to dispense like product advice and help you lead the relationship.
No, listen, I could not agree more. Your woman can counsel you and she can advise you, but you make the final decision, right? Yep. Now, this isn't the same. Now, listen, if you're with a woman long enough, she's going to know, just by living with you, she's going to know some of your frailties, right? Like, Evan knows she knows, unfortunately for her, some of my weaknesses are not really weaknesses. They're really kind of like frailties, like my ridiculous temper. That is a weakness that I have. Fortunately for me, that works very well. Devin also knows that I have a very complicated relationship with my parents. I didn't sit down with her and cry about it. No, she's lived with me now for 2.5, 3 years. So she just understands that. But volunteering your weaknesses to your woman, dude, listen, and dude, she'll cry with you and she'll sympathize with you, but her attraction to you is compromised.
Fact.
Trusted men if you have something to get off your chest. Let me read the rest of these super chats and then we'll wrap this up because there was like 30 seconds left in the video and it's literally just more of the same. This guy just
there's a big part because it tells her why she doesn't have sex with him.
Oh, okay. Well, then hold on real quick. Let me go back. We gotta make sure we get the best part here. While I'm doing that, NYKia 31, $5 says, "If you see a woman's respect for you vanish before your eyes, get emotional." Question mark with the $5. Yeah, I don't know what that was. He needs to dust off the prenup, pay her out, learn his lesson, and move on to bigger and better things. Shout out to the 7. Let's finish this out.
But you don't want to say it's pressure. What about being engaged?
You might have felt pressure.
What about being engaged?
Pressure behind it.
I said, we don't got to rush to get married. You said, I don't want to be engaged longer than a year. Is that not pressure?
Jesus Christ. Yes, but that's him being a woman.
That's me voicing my opinion about it.
Sounds like pressure to me. So you say you want to be engaged, I get engaged. You say you want to be married within a year. We do that. We get married, then you make it seem like sex is a chore to your husband. Once again, I ask the question, why do women who push forth monogamy on the man they're dating then get overwhelmed when that man who tries to provide that monogamy to you Why do you get upset when we're trying to be what you want us to be? You don't want me to be with no one else, right? Right? I'm asking. This is a serious question.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't want me to be with no one else.
Absolutely.
So if I decide that all this testosterone I have, I want to give to you, why is this so overwhelming now? This is what you asked for.
Because I don't want to fuck you.
Again,
Here it comes.
26 and 27-year-old Kadeen was like, okay, here's the natural succession of life. You graduate, you're working, you meet somebody, you guys are dating. You want children.
Yes.
I want children.
Yes.
We don't want to wait too long or too late to have children.
Yes.
Though now a lot of people are waiting until their 30s to have children.
I understand why.
And we at that time felt like, well, we're doing everything in this natural succession that the forces that be have given us this timeline. However, I did not realize that after having children, after, career changes, all of the turbulences that we've been through in life, that was going to have a direct effect on my sex drive.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Donovan, there's truth in that people that who aren't
Bullshit.
There's truth in that. There's truth in that.
You know, it's funny. So she says it affects her sex drive, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, check this out. It doesn't affect her sex drive when she runs up on a dude she actually wants to fuck, right?
But Donovan, okay, check it out. See, this is what a lot of guys who ain't in relationships and never live with women don't understand. When she said
thing is real.
If she cooks for you, cleans, takes care of the kids and work, okay, she's coming home tired. And a lot of these guys that don't know, because this is how I got to sleep with them. A lot of guys who are lazy, they're not picking up any of the slack. They're not watching the kids.
That's what you're. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about something completely. Yes. You can't expect a woman to work 8 hours, come home, feed the kids, do laundry, and then want to suck your dick at the end of the night. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. I'm coming home and I got all this stuff to do. You're not picking up any slack, and I come home tired. I'm not even sexually feeling attractive because I got to come home, cook, clean, kids, laundry, and all the things that I need to do. What are you doing to pick up the slack? And that's part of the problem here. A lot of guys don't know. Again, it's not about the sex. It's beyond. Sex has nothing to do with a live-in and engagement, relationship, and marriage. It's a whole different ballgame, man.
I agree, but a live-in and engagement
Man,
and
I'm gonna
marriage. Listen,
I'll
hold
tell you,
on.
as a guy who's been on both sides of it,
married and engaged if you're not fucking. That's just all there is to it. But I agree with you in this regard, Steve. Where the problem starts is her having a career. When women decide to have careers, this is why you can't be married to a woman with a career. She's either going to be she's either going to be good at her career or she's going to be a good wife. You cannot serve two gods. And better than 9 times out of 10, you're not the god she chooses. And I'll tell you this, her sex drive is gravely compromised, right? Totally agree with that. But women who are having affairs with their husbands at 36 years old with 3 kids, all of a sudden their libido is up. Why? Because they're fucking a man who's a man. That's why. Telling him that you are no longer sexually attractive enough for me to want to fuck. That's what it is.
But people think men and women are alike. That's where they go wrong. Sex is emotional for a woman. It's sex. My clients wasn't about the sex. I was getting paid to hold them. I was getting paid to look at. I was getting paid to do all the things that their husband would do that they wouldn't do because a lot of motherfuckers don't know how to fuck. They have no idea about sex. They can't fuck. They can't eat pussy. They don't know what they're doing in the bedroom. I'm telling you, a lot of guys think porn is real sex. And when you get with a woman, you don't know what you're doing, she is going to find someone who does. This is how the rule is, man.
No, you're right. But again, I'm sticking to this. God, Jesus Christ, do as I say, not as I do. In 2020, don't cohabitate with women. A lot of guys say, Rollo Tomasi tells guys not to get married. Why is he married? He's fucking Rollo. And that doesn't make me any better or worse than people. But when we say that sex is important, we're not just saying the act of sex is important. I agree with you. The act of sex is important only because it leads to other things. Just because you stick your dick in 100 different chicks doesn't mean you know anything about women. But if you're going to have relationships where you learn about yourself and women, sex has to be involved. Otherwise, you're just in the friend zone.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think one last thing with that is, her saying, well, I have kids and I'm tired and all. That's cool and all, but at the same time, the fact that she, like you said, Donovan, if she met some random dude,
that's right,
and that got her wet, she don't care if she was up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She gonna suck his dick. You understand what I'm saying? So I
got 4 kids.
I don't care if we got 12 kids. I don't care if we got a whole damn football team. You gonna have to freaking suck this. You know what I'm saying? Like
You know what I mean? Is she has 3 sons and a grown, and her husband is another kid.
Right.
That's why she does not get it. Because I will say, one of the things that shocked me the most is how different life is as a single guy versus a married guy. No one could have told me what it was like to be married, kid, father, all that other kind of shit. So I'm just kind of sitting back listening to all sides of it. One thing I will say is everybody's right about this thing. He is completely lost frame with his wife. She has no respect for him, and everything is exacerbated by his ineffectiveness to stand up to his woman, to stand up for himself. I mean, she can't respect him. That's why she doesn't really want to fuck him.
That's right. That's what this comes down to. Right. And the last thing that she said, well, I didn't realize that after kids and after career that would gravely compromise my sex drive. No, you know what compromised her sex drive was her husband caving into her every demand. Down the list. Yep. You wanted to move in, I moved you in.
Gave you everything you wanted.
For more than a year, I did that. You said you wanted to get married, I did that. Why won't you fuck me? Well, it's because you let me change you, you fucking idiot.
Right.
Exactly what I told you to do. You became exactly what I wanted, what I told you I wanted to be, and you just fucking went along with it. That's why I'm not fucking you. That's exactly what she told him.
Right, because real quick is every guy on this panel has been with a woman who was tired and all that other stuff, and then she still had sex with you. And the reason why, is because she respected you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why she did it. That's
was it in Niagara?
Like, I'll say this, man. Like, you guys got to understand that a woman's comfort is going to lead to her contempt for you later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's comfortable, and then tomorrow, next thing you know, she's gonna be back talking and all this other stuff. And I hate to say this, but listen to the song Future. Bitch, don't get too comfortable. And that's how you guys got to act with women nowadays in 2020, bro. They will always punish you if you put them in a leadership position where they can dictate how things are going to be done. You always got to be in that leadership position and not give her everything she wants, man. Because if you do, you're going to take an L like this guy wondering, why am I not getting laid anymore? And the thing is that so many guys make the mistake and don't understand. Just like Kev was saying and I was saying earlier, a woman's got to respect you first. They don't fuck like we do. You can fuck a chick and not respect her. It doesn't work for women like that, though, at all.
That's exactly right. And don't give women something for nothing. This is this guy's problem. He didn't make her earn his commitment. You said you wanted to be engaged. I became engaged to you. Really? What exactly did she do? What exactly did she do to earn his commitment?
He thought he was buying coochie coupons.
That's all it was. He was trying to.
He thought if I give you this, if I give you a marriage, that's gonna give me 10,000 coochie coupons. And if I do this, it's gonna give me 5,000 coochie coupons. And when he went to exchange them, and she said, "Oh man, these things are like Confederate money. They don't work no more." But I got coochie coupons. Yeah, I'm not redeeming those no more.
Marco, $2 says, why is there a tampon on his head? That is a very good question. Nigatar, $5 says, women do exercise logic. It's just animal logic, strict logic. If we're trapped in a cave, starving with a screaming baby, let's eat the baby. Dennis Bryant, $10 says, she doesn't respect this man whatsoever. Better him than any man of high value. Myla, $5 says, spare the rod, spoil the child. In parentheses, he says woman. Yonko the Shinobi says, do I grip and mold a virgin into a real life unicorn as I grow, or do I treat her like any other woman from the jump and keep it pushing solo? You are young, so number one, I'm gonna put you up on game. You're not gonna find many virginal women. If you do, those virginal women are not gonna want to be with dudes your age. You have to have age and you have to have experience. Don't take it personally. This is why young girls want to mess with older guys, because we have our shit together. They'll fuck the younger guys if they're looking for some fun. But if they're really, really looking for experience, they go after the older guys.
Donovan, I've had an influx of virgins calling my show like lately.
The virgins.
With their pictures with claiming they're virgins. And I'm like, but what you're saying is that they don't want to deal with guys their age, anywhere from 21 to 28.
Of course.
Like, they're not trying to deal with guys their age.
This guy thinks that if he gets a virgin and molds her, that she's never going anywhere. My friend, you have much to learn, young Padawan. You have much to learn. Self-built language, $5, says she didn't pressure him, proceeds to explain how she pressured him into AT. No reason to even try getting into a logical argument with a woman. Yes, she did pressure him, but like she told him before, just because I asked for it doesn't mean I get it. He gave in to her, and now he is pissed off that he gave in. No, you cannot blame a woman for being a woman. That's all there is to it.
No pressure.
Give me 2 seconds. Prophet Glutton, $5, says, why do they say not to get a house with a woman if you're not married? Wouldn't it just complicate things when it ends anyway? Sounds like a trap. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that it is a trap. Don't buy a house with a woman. That's just all there is to that.
It's trap.
Listen, when Dev and I buy a house out in Nevada, that deed is going to be in my name. That's just all there is to it. Okay, let us go around the panel. Man, fantastic discussion. Excellent turnout. Let's go around the panel and give our last thoughts. Let us start with, well, I was just waiting to see who was on the screen. Let us, Lucario looks like he's chewing. Let's start with Steve. Steve, fire first.
Oh, me first. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Probably one that looked ready, man. Everybody's
okay. Okay, I'm ready. All right. Well, what I want to say, thank you for having me on. Thank you, chat room. I just want to say with this is that, listen, man, women are not, I don't know why. I swear, I don't know why y'all think women are different. Women are not different. Women will always be women, and they're going to be led by a man, period. And if you think they're different, you're the problem. If you feel that they're different, you're the problem. Because a woman is not going to disrespect a man. A woman is not going to, if a man tells a woman this is what it is, she's not going to do the next thing next day because she'll be gone the next day. So I'm telling y'all got to be careful about the information y'all are getting. Y'all need to hear motherfuckers who know what they're talking about in this motherfucking game, man. Because y'all are going down the wrong path thinking that all these women are this way. And if you go back to that thing, last one to say, in that video, I cannot blame that woman because when a woman meets a bitch, he's going to treat him like one. His pussy was tighter than hers. She knew she was running it. And for a lot of you guys out there, y'all might laugh. Y'all might hit that woman. But I promise you, these women know what they're doing, and these women are not stupid. Don't ever think they're stupid. They might be a little naive.
Oh no, they're
not. More motherfucking game on their pinky than most of you guys do now, because they're watching shows like this right now, preparing to see if you're gonna be the driver. They're gonna put up their Halloween lights, their Christmas lights, and you ain't gonna get no ass whatsoever. Because, like we say, you can't make them wet. Wet equals sex, guys. Sex equals man. That's all I want to say.
Hey, good stuff. Lucario, what you got? Unmute yourself.
My bad. You can hear me? Okay, cool. Now I just think that guys need to watch this video of us critiquing this so that you can study this, because this is real time, real life stuff that's happening to men that'll show you what not to do. You know what I'm saying? So that type of stuff will save you a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of money, a lot of frustration. You feel what I'm saying? So understand that you have to be the one to make the decisions. You lead. Don't listen to what she's saying and just going by what she says. Because in the video, you could clearly see he was saying, well, you said you wanted this, and then I gave it to you. And then you said you wanted that, and then I gave it to you. It's like, forget what she's saying she wants. You have to do the thing that you know is right as a man in order to lead her and to lead the family and to do what you got to do. So that's all I'm saying. Just, take this as a lesson and don't make the same mistakes this guy did. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, good stuff. Byron.
My bad. Sorry. Yeah, man, you guys could find me at patreon.com/freshfit, where we put all the content that's not safe for YouTube on how to, deal with a lot of these modern day chicks. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm here in Miami, Florida. Studio's almost done. I just put a picture up on Instagram for that. But yeah, man, patreon.com/freshfit, man. Definitely jump in there, guys, and we'll see you there.
Short and sweet. Who is next? Let's go to Solo. Oh, wait, hold on, Solo. I'm going to come to you last because you said you wanted to go last. I'm waiting for the fireworks there. Kevin, what you got?
All right. Good to be back. Won't be here long. Getting the mobile studio on the road, going to LA, Malibu, Beverly Hills, back to New York City. So here's the thing. Guys, look, you got a lot of good information tonight. A lot of it. And depending on where you are is what's going to make most sense to you right now. All different stages of development. But remember, anything else is you have to stay in a leadership position with women at all times. If you want anything with women, casual, long-term, whatever it is, give your woman the gift of being uncomfortable. Don't sit around and give her everything she says she wants, because they don't know what they want. And if you don't know, talk to men. Do not ask her. Just pick a direction and go. Going in the wrong direction is better than going in her direction. I'm sorry. They will follow you if you freaking lead. And so many of you guys, like me, raised by your mother, and you don't know, you're afraid to take the reins because you don't necessarily want the responsibility of that leadership. But I will tell you this, better to make a decision, be the wrong decision, and then have to course correct than go down her path and be like this dude dying the death of 1,000 cuts. That's bull.
Death of 1,000 concessions. Solo.
I took a lot of notes, Donovan, so bear with me real quick. But let me put in my commercial music. 1 second. It's nothing more epic than that, Donovan. When you have a new chick on your bed, you know, she doesn't know you didn't wash the sheets. I'm keeping it up. You know, okay, so let me say this first. The wife said some things that I want to address. She says, that's up to you, bro. Donovan, if your woman spoke to you like that, I know that's up to you, bro.
That would not be a good situation on either end.
I wish my woman or the woman I'm dealing with on an intimate level would call me bro.
I don't wish that. Don't.
And then she said, he said, if sex is a chore for you. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I agree with Steve and Lucario. This guy clearly, you know, he thought, hey, I'll catch 4 passes and I'll lock Shorty down, right? But when you're having conversations with your wife where now sex and chore are in the same sentence,
yeah, man,
the marriage is finished.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Now, let me address this. Shout out to Myron. In 2020, you know what? Because I'm heartless and I'm back to my ways because I'm You got to be heartless like the Weeknd. You feel me? Now, I know, Steve, you're rolling your eyes right now, but literally, when you're dealing with women in 2020, you're dealing with psychopaths. You're dealing with women that are in triad type of circle shit or be oh yeah, these women are nice. You know, you can bring roses and no, fuck all that. These women are savage. These women are ran through. These women are for the streets. And guess what? If you're a guy and you like this dude right here, you're gonna get got, Steve. Facts. So my mentality is this. You know, this whole vulnerable thing, Myron, you were just talking about? Yeah. Silly me. I tried that shit with the chick this summer, you know? You know what happened, Donovan?
What happened?
Every fucking time I was trying to go to sleep, 2-3 hours, bullshit conversations about shit I didn't care about. I'm trying to sleep.
Oh God.
Guess what? The last month, it's a weird thing how the game works, Donovan. Especially 2 weeks ago. You know, I came back from Philly, right?
Yeah.
You know, and whatever. I'm doing my thing. I'm on my grind. All of a sudden, I got all these women trying to meet up, trying to do this. Next thing I know, Lucario, I got 4 chicks trying to meet. Of course, you know how it go. And nigga look like Mookie Baylock, so half of them flaked. You know what I mean? But still, 2 for 4. It's cool. But here's the thing.
Oh, this nigga.
I got to keep it real. I was doing my thing, right? I'm not going to say I was on my purpose. I was on my purpose, but I was still talking to women. But here's the thing, Donovan. I didn't make it my focus. And guess what? They were still throwing it at me like McNabb to T. Owens in their prime. And I was catching, right? Now, flip it back to a couple days ago, and I'm thirsty trying to finesse something. No, it's not happening. So what's my point with this? My point with this is like this. Vulnerability and honest chivalry, we know that shit is for the birds in 2020. Yeah. Right? What it is about now, Donovan, is you gotta be you. You gotta show the receipts, not like these incels want us to show us with our phalluses down their throat. But these women want to know that you have a life outside of texting them constantly or pursuing them constantly. I don't even text girls sometimes. Like, girl can send me a nude, I might respond 2-3 days later. Right. The point I'm trying to say is this. I want to be so busy, and I keep myself so busy to the point that I have a girl calling me or texting me angrily like, hey, we have to meet up, blah, blah, blah. If that doesn't happen, it's a waste of my time. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Very, very well said. I think some of the best shows that we have are the shows where there is dissension. Because I think we're all a part of maybe sort of a different generation. Myron is 30, Solo is 33, 34.
36, Donovan.
You're 36. I believe Lucario, you are 4. Oh, you're 39.
39.
Steve is 40. Steve is
touching
45.
40.
So we're all like, we all cover a very wide range in terms of age. We all have very different experiences with women, and so we all see things from a different lens. And I think that makes for a good conversation. I think that guys can learn from different points of view. And I think when they get different points of view from either side of the spectrum and everything in between, I think it makes them better with women. That's just me. It's good not to, I guess, and I don't want to call it an echo chamber, because I like an echo chamber. I like that we can all agree on the fundamentals. Is because if we can't agree on fundamentals, then we don't have a show. But it's good that that sometimes we disagree on some of the nuances. James Iwu Chiku, $5 says it's not about her disrespecting him, it's about him not respecting himself. That's the only respect that matters. I agree with Myron. A woman will not fuck you if she does not respect you.
That's true.
The only way she's not is if you're paying, and we don't want to do that. I want to end the show with this cartoon here. This is exactly what this guy has gone through. And I've actually talked about this before on my show. So in the top box, you see a girl and a guy. They look at each other, right? They like each other. They get in a relationship. Second box, she says, baby, enough with the cartoon shirts. You're not 15 anymore. Get a polo or something, right? So in the next box, he's wearing a polo shirt, just like she asked. Then she says, honey, maybe you should shave. And since you're doing that, why don't you get a haircut too? Then in the final box, she says, Bob, I left you because you're not the same person anymore. You've changed.
So much truth in that, man.
Listen,
it hurts.
What that dude in the interview we just watched is the equivalent of Bob being mad at Sarah that she asked him to cut his hair, shave his beard, and stop wearing cartoon shirts. Gentlemen, your woman is going to test you. It's what they do. Okay, women are going to try to change you, and they don't do it maliciously. It runs in their firmware. What they're trying to do is to verify that you are the person you presented yourself to be. So when they press you on something and you cave, you succumb to that and do something that is seemingly out of character, she's going to press you more to make sure that she was wrong about you. When you continue to concede to her, at some point, she's going to lose all respect for you. What's happened with this woman is that she is just now figuring out this nigga is not the dude I thought he was. He literally did everything I told him to do, and that might be the man I say I want. That's not the man I need. That's the.
He's not your equal, guys. Like that's so true, Donovan. Like what you and Lucario was saying earlier. Like you can't defer to a woman's authority ever. She's not your equal, guys. You got to understand that when you're the leader, you don't follow what she says. Because if you follow what she says, she's going to lead you to the end of the relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Last super chat, Janet with the 25 Hong Kong dollars says the saying is still true. Anything you say can be held against you. Guys, that is going to do it for this edition of The 7. It will be up on Patreon tomorrow around 1-ish. Guys, I will have your copies to you. I'll send you guys the link, the WeTransfer link, and you guys can post it on Patreon, wherever you want to do.
Try to keep it clean.
Very much for being aboard for this unbelievable conversation. We will see you guys back here at 8 o'clock-ish on The 7.